There is a habit, a practice that has been performed for thousands of years, that modern neuroscience is only now beginning to fully understand. It isn't a new form of therapy, it isn't a medication, and it doesn't require any special equipment. It is a simple, rhythmic practice found in ancient traditions across the world, and researchers are now discovering that it can physically decrease activity in the part of your brain responsible for fear and panic. Today, I want to show you exactly what this habit is, why it works on a biological level, and how you can implement it tonight to find a level of peace you haven't felt in years. If you've ever felt like your mind is a runaway train, this is for you. If you have ever laid awake at 2 a.m., with your mind racing, replaying conversations from 3 years ago, or worrying about a project due next week, you know exactly what anxiety feels like. It's that tightness in your chest, the shallow breathing, and that feeling that you're constantly on edge. We often think of this as a mental problem. We try to think our way out of it. We tell ourselves, just calm down, or don't worry so much. But the problem is that anxiety isn't just a mental state, it's a physiological one. Your body is stuck in a survival loop. For centuries, ancient teachers told us to be still, or find your center. They didn't have MRIs or fMRI machines to prove why it worked, but they knew it did. Today, we are finally catching up to their wisdom. We are learning that the brain is plastic, it can be rewired. And the habit we are discussing today is one of the most effective rewiring tools we have. To understand why this habit works, we have to look at your brain's architecture. Deep inside, there is an almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Think of it as your internal smoke detector. When it senses a threat, a real one like a wild animal, or a perceived one like an angry email, it fires instantly. It floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline. It prepares you to fight or flee. In the modern world, this is a massive design flaw. You don't need a surge of adrenaline to answer a stressful Slack message. But your amygdala doesn't know that. The counterpart to this is the prefrontal cortex. This is the CEO of your brain. It handles logic, reasoning, and long-term planning. When you are anxious, the amygdala effectively hijacks the CEO. You stop thinking clearly and start reacting. The habit we're discussing is designed to force communication back to the CEO. It uses a biological reset button that sends inhibitory signals from your prefrontal cortex down to the amygdala, telling it to stand down. So, what is the habit? It comes down to 3 pillars. First, rhythmic breathing. This isn't just taking a deep breath. It is about a specific ratio. If you exhale longer than you inhale, you manually stimulate the vagus nerve. This is the primary component of your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. Second, cognitive labeling. When we feel bad, we feel a vague sense of dread. By labeling the specific emotion, I am feeling overwhelmed by this project, you move the activity from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. You are literally turning a physical feeling into a logical data point. Third, progressive release. This is the physical act of relaxing muscle groups. Anxiety stores itself in your shoulders, your jaw, and your hands. By intentionally relaxing these, you send a feedback loop to your brain. I am safe because my body is relaxed. Most people try this once, it doesn't work, and they give up. But this is not a cure-all pill. It is a muscle. Just like you can't go to the gym once and expect to be fit, you cannot practice this once and expect to never be anxious again. You are building a new neural pathway. Every time you consciously choose to breathe, label your fear, and release your muscles, you are strengthening the connection between your CEO, the prefrontal cortex, and your smoke detector, the amygdala. After 2 weeks of consistent daily practice, you will notice that your threshold for panic increases. The little things that used to set you off won't have the same bite. You aren't avoiding life, you are equipping yourself to handle it with a steady hand. Peace is not the absence of pressure, it is the presence of a steady internal anchor. If you're ready to start building that anchor, try this tonight. Just 5 minutes before you go to sleep. If this resonated with you, subscribe to the channel. We're exploring the intersection of modern science and ancient wisdom every single week. And tell me in the comments, what is the biggest stressor in your life right now? I read every one of them. See you in the next video.